Hey there, I'm Lance and I'm a gamer.
And I'm Sam and I'm a non-gamer.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to help gamers find great games to play with non-gamers.
And today we're taking a look at the Great British Baking Show game by Ravensburger.
You've probably watched the show on Netflix, the Great British Baking Show. Well, now there's a board game for it, because why not? There's a board game for everything these days. And this is a real-time race game. Now, before you switch and go to a different video, this isn't like most real-time games. This is a pattern matching game in which you are going to be going through a deck of cards. Everybody has the same deck of cards. They're just all shuffled, so they're in random orders. And you're trying to match the pattern of the cake or biscuit or whatever it is that you're making. And you're trying to do so quicker than everybody else, but you want the best ingredients. Let me show you how this works down below, and then we'll come back and share our thoughts on it as a gamer and non-gamer.
All right, so here's the Great British Baking Show game. On your marks, get set, bake. This obviously takes after the very popular TV show, The Great British Baking Show. So in this game, you are going to be completing bakes. And there are several different types of bakes that you can do throughout the game. You're going to pick a set of 3 cards. You have here your biscuits, your cakes, your desserts, your pastries, your international category, and then the one that I have here on display is the breads. Now, you are going to play 3 rounds in this game. You are going to have your signature, which in this case is the tiger loaf, and whichever one you are currently doing, you're going to place on this display here for all to see. Then you will do the technical, which in this case is the filled star loaf. And then you will do the showstopper, which in this case is iced buns. And if it has a ×3 icon here on it, you have to repeat this pattern 3 times. Now, what you see here on these cards, you are going to have 3 different scoring regiments that you are trying to complete. Obviously, you want to do the one that gives you the most points here, which would be the Hollywood handshake. Paul Hollywood, he gives you 7 points. But if you want any points at all, you have to complete this pattern. If you want the Great Bake, you cannot include any soggy cards, and you have to have 1 rising agent. And if you want Paul Hollywood's handshake, you need to include 2 good crumb cards and have the style, which is anything that is outlined in the black dotted line here, which happens to be these 2 style cards or frosting or whatever the sorts it may be. Now, all of these are going to be different depending on which cards you select for that particular round, and you have to do everything up here if you want Paul Hollywood's handshake. So not only do I need to not have any soggy and a rising agent to get the Great Bake, but I still need to do this if I want the Paul Hollywood handshake in doing the requirements down here as well. So how does this game work? Well, you are going to have a deck of cards that you are going to shuffle up. You are also going to have a player board, and you can see which characters you can be. And on your player board, you're going to have 3 spots to place your discarded cards as you cycle through your deck. When everybody is ready, you're going to say go, and you're going to flip over 1 card, and you're going to see what it is. And if it's something that you can use for your bake, then you are going to place that down in front of you in your baking area. Now, you have to do these from the bottom level going up, and everything that you place has to touch something else. So with this particular one, it matches any of these lower level ones, and so I might place it just like that, in my mind, placing it where this spot would be. The next card that I draw, and again, I'm doing this in real time, so I'm racing all of the other players. Oh, that is not something I need, so I would place it on one of my discard piles. But now that it is there, if I place another card that I don't need on top of it, I cannot get that particular one until I take this one off of it. Yes, you can take the ones on the tops of these 3 piles if you need them to place into your bake. Now, this particular one that I have drawn is a soggy card. Now, it is something that I can use for these sponge cards I can use it in place of any of these sponge cards. If I am running behind, say, another player and I'm wanting to try and catch up, I can use that in place of it. However, I have used something soggy and I cannot get the Great Bake, nor can I get the Hollywood Handshake. I may still get the soggy bottom if I can complete my bake. Now, once I have it out here in my bake, it is there. I can't do anything about it unless I use my bin token. At any point in the round, I can flip over my bin token and remove anything in my bake out of it. But otherwise, once it's in my bake, it has to stay there, even if I draw a card that may be something that I actually need. So what are some of the other cards that you're going to find in the deck? Well, you're going to find Rising Agent cards, which are basically the same thing as Soggy, except they are not bad. They are actually good. You can use them as substitutes for your sponge cards. You are going to have your Rising Agent cards, which they are going to be some requirements for the Great Bake or the Hollywood Handshake. This is the Good Crumb, not the Rising Agent, the Good Crumb here for the Hollywood Handshake. You're going to have Rye, which Rye is another kind of requirement for the bake. You are going to have filling cards. Now, filling cards are going to come in 4 different varieties. You've got fruit, savory, spice, and sweet. And whenever you see a recipe that is calling for a flavor card, you are going to see it out here as a blue spot, but you're not going to see that it specifies exactly what type of filling. And that's because a lot of the requirements out here are going to say something about that, such as the Great Bake here says no savory filling. So you could use any of the other ones, such as maybe spice in this spot right here, but try not to use the savory. You are also going to have icing cards, and as I mentioned earlier, the style cards, which again is optional. You don't have to put them in there, but if you want the Hollywood Handshake, you definitely do want to. Now, you also have 2 help cards, and what the help cards are going to let you do whenever you draw this out of your deck, you can select one of these from this market of 8 cards. And this is first come, first serve. So maybe I really need another sponge card, and I can take this and place it into my bake. And now there's only 1 left, and if somebody else takes that, there are none left in the market. And that is how the help cards work. Now, whenever you finish your bake, if you're the first player to do so, you are going to grab the highest numbered microwave token out here, and then that will signify to all the other players somebody has finished their bake. You really need to hurry. Once the next person finishes, they can take the next highest, and then the next highest, and once all the green tokens are gone and there's only the broken red 1 token, then whoever has not finished their bake has to immediately stop. They do not finish their bake, and they gain this token here. Now, these tokens are worth the number of points printed on them, and then you will score everybody's bake based off the requirements here, and you will hand out tokens. And real quick, this is the Token Sesame token tray, and if you'd like to know more about it, check out the link down below in the description of this video, and there is a coupon code on there for a discount. And so if you do get the Paul Hollywood Handshake, that's going to be worth 7 points. If you just get the Great Bake, you get the 5-point token here. And if you have a soggy bottom, you get the 2-point token. Again, you'll play 3 rounds. You'll count up all the points at the end of the game. Whoever has the most points is the Great British Baking Show game champion. Let's go back up top and share our thoughts on this one.
And we're back, and now we're going to share our thoughts on the Great British Baking Show game from Ravensburger while you check out some gameplay footage of a game between Sam and I. So, Sam, first initial impressions on this. I know you are a big fan of the TV show. So, seeing this, what was your first impression?
Well, I will say I am typically not... I think it's been said numerous times, I do not like big theming games. Okay. So usually stuff like this, they try to get you with the, hey, it's just like the show.
It's a cash grab.
And then you play it and it just has a picture of the show on it. And that's
right.
all there all is to it. And I also don't like real-time games.
Okay.
So really,
this was
in general,
not starting off in a good place for you.
Yeah, so. Okay. But I really like this game. Oh. I thought it was so much fun. I do like puzzle games, pattern
building.
Yes, I really do like that. So I think that's where this game got me. But we had so much fun playing this game.
Yeah.
We were laughing, and it is very quick because it is real time. And it was just a really fun, enjoyable game.
You know, for the longest time, I had felt like real time was a gaming element mechanic that just would not work very well with casual or non-gamers, simply for the fact that there's not any time for somebody to ask a question and say, am I doing this right? What do I do next? I don't understand this icon. You're on your own. Too bad, I can't help you. And there have been a few games, I won't say a lot of games, but there have been a few games here lately that have incorporated real time, and it seems to work. And I think this is one of them. And it may be just for the simple fact that, yes, you're just making a pattern. There are just the fewest of rules when it comes to the different ingredients and what you can use in a certain spot and what you're not supposed to use. But this game is fairly straightforward for anybody to understand it. So you don't really have too many questions being asked, if any. And so I think it works in this case.
You really do kind of feel like you're baking something, not in the sense of, you know, actually in the kitchen, but the fact that you are physically building it, you have to use certain materials, certain ingredients, and it gets messy because you have stuff. You're trying to make it look like the picture, and I mean, we just had such a good time playing it. I think that's what came out of this. It's an enjoyable, fun game.
You know, and when I really think about it, because I have watched the show, I've seen a few episodes, and it seems like every single time, multiple times, because they do more than one dish.
Which we do too. You do three.
You do three dishes, just like on the show. And with each time that they're making something, there's always at least one person, if not multiple people, that it doesn't look like they're going to get it done. They're getting it done in the very last second, and it looks horrendous, right? Well, that happens in this game. You don't know if you're going to get it done or not, and maybe you do just barely get it done, but you're using the soggy ingredient, or you're using the wrong kind of spice, or whatever the case may be, and it's not great. But hey, you got it done. You're getting some points. And so you do have that in this game. So I think the theming and the mechanics really go hand in hand and work pretty well with this one.
I think it was just really smart of them to, you know, you can use this and still get points, but you can't use this because that ingredient would be wrong. But this ingredient is right-ish. This one's the perfect
right-ish.
one. And like just having that option, because you really wonder, like, how is this going to, even when you first open it, you're just like, how is this going to work? But it works wonderfully.
Yeah, but honestly, when I was reading the rules and trying to set this up and playing it the first time, initially I thought, this doesn't sound like too much of a game. Like, I'm just racing through my cards. Oh, that matches, that doesn't. Let's get rid of that. And while, in a sense, that is what this game is, you do have the varying degrees of how good an ingredient is. So you make the choice, and it's a split-second decision. I could put this in here, but I'm already selling myself short. I'm not going to get Paul Hollywood's handshake. But maybe I still want to do it because I don't want her to get any points at all. So there are some good choices you have to make, and you got to make them on the fly. So it is stressful, and it's a lot of fun. So, all right, let's get to pros and cons on this one. What were the things that stood out to you in a positive way?
I think we've mentioned most of them. I just think they did a really good job in such a small box, such a small game. All the ingredients that you have available to you, the different types of desserts you can make with that. They just, with limited amount of things, they really pushed this game as far as you can go with those materials, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a minimal game. There's not a whole lot of components to this. It is some jumbo-sized cards with ingredients and cakes and whatnot on it. And the artwork is fantastic with this game too. I don't want it to sound like this is a cheaply made game and they didn't make good artwork or anything. No, that's great. The cards, you have a few tokens, and that's it with this one. But that's all you need. You don't need the grandiose production for this kind of game. So any other positives that stick out to you?
I think the real-time aspect of it, that's what sells this game, which I would never say before. I can name one other real-time game that I would even enjoy playing. So to say that I really enjoyed this one really says something. But I think that going fast and trying to make something, that's what makes it fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will absolutely agree with that. Anything that doesn't work for you?
I don't know. I feel like maybe some of the desserts are maybe a little too easy, too straightforward, but I think they're great to start with. There's definitely ones, we haven't done all of them, that are much more, intense.
Much more intense, and it's gonna be a longer round. There's some that are really easy to make, but you maybe have to make 3 of them. So there's a little bit of a challenge, like the gingerbread man. You gotta make 3 of them.
I kind of wish maybe there was like 1 or 2 more ingredients to add to it. Maybe an expansion pack for it. But overall, there's not a whole lot of negatives to this. This is a really fun game.
The only negative that I will have for this one, and you might have caught it there in the gameplay footage, was it does take up some space.
Yes.
And you do want to make sure you have enough space between you and the next player, because if you're in a cramped, tight quarter, you're going to run out of space to play your stuff, and you're going to have to move everything over so that you can fit everything else in. And while you're doing that, somebody else has probably already won the round.
Yes.
So that can be an issue. Space. This game does take up a little bit of space.
Yes.
So, all right, scale of 1 to 10, love to hate. I'm going to go first because I think you're going to have a really high number on this one. I do really enjoy this game. Now, albeit it is a very one trick.
Yeah.
This is, go as fast as you can. It is challenging though. I am not good at this game.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't make good decisions right in the split second. I really want to analyze and think, okay, where's she at? I want to pick this one. No, I need to go quicker. So I need to, and before I know it, I've just really screwed everything up. But I still really had a good time with this one. So for what it is, it does a fantastic job. It's not trying to be this home run hitter, big time board game. No, it's a licensed product, and it's, trying to hit a specific kind of market, and they nailed it. They did a great job for what it is. And they did a great job for people that are gamers too, I think, because I had a really good time with it. So all that being said, I give it a 7.6. It's a game that I really enjoyed. It was one that I had a good time with. So she's going to go way higher than me.
I mean, for a game to just be that fun, and to have a theme that you
can connect with.
Yeah, you can connect with. And again, like, don't give me Monopoly Friends or anything like that.
Okay.
But I think that the theme works for this one. I give it an 8.8.
8.8? Oh my gosh.
I really liked it. So
you may be seeing this one on a top 10 list at the end of the year.
I think if you can have a game that you can laugh through, that's going to be at the top of my list, regardless of what the game is. If you can enjoy it through the whole time and you're laughing and both people or all the people are enjoying it, then it needs to go high.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I've said it in videos before too, that when I feel like people at the table aren't having a good time with the game, even if I really enjoy the game, it puts a damper on the experience. And the reverse of that is true as well. Even if I'm not having the greatest time with this game, if I see that other people are really enjoying it, then that elevates the game for me. So, yeah, absolutely. Well, there you go. Pretty great game here. That is the Great British Baking Show game. It is from Ravensburger. Leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you think about this one.
Make sure to like and subscribe and push that bell button so you get notifications of all our new content.
I'm Lance.
I'm Sam.
And we are Love to Hate, where we try to bridge the gap between gamers and non-gamers. We'll catch you next time.